everybody. I am so excited. I got my magical mystery bead box for the month of September 2025 and it is amazing. I am so excited about this, and I'm going to just preface my excitement by saying that horror flicks are not my thing, and I don't even like Halloween. That is not my thing, but this is so cool and so well done. And if those of you that know a little bit about me, I have an interior design background, and this is really like giving me that interior design hat that I used to wear because I decorated a lot of bonus rooms and amphitheaters within very large homes, and featuring like movies and things like that, and pulling together all of the elements that keep a theme going was one of the things that I did quite often. And this is that, but in the bead world, and it's so cool. So it's titled Creature Feature. And for those of you that get the box, take your phone and scan the QR code here. Deb Floros did several videos this month with great ideas for how to use the items in the box. And I am going to probably spend a little time because these are curated in the most amazing way. There is 5 bead mixes, charms, 3 bead strands, chain, and findings in this box, and it's so well done. My son went crazy over this box. And a funny story, I came into the room a few nights ago and he was watching The Creature from the Black Lagoon, and I was teasing him. I said, "You realize movies are in color nowadays?" And he said, "Mommy, I love this movie." He really likes these vintage movies, the classics like The Birds. He is actually reading Mary Shelley's Frankenstein, so a lot of the classic pop culture films were, came from novels. And so when he saw this, he said, "Please make me a bookmarker and a necklace." So I'm going to do 2 little projects for my son after I share the contents with you. And then I've already designed something for myself too, but I'll come back in another video for that. So this bead strand are shell beads in this cool tile shape, and printed on them are the movie posters from these classic pop culture creature films. And it's so cute. The graphics are so amazing. It looks like a movie theater ticket. It says admit 1 creature feature. They're just so well done. And so you have Frankenstein, you have Dracula, Frankenstein, the Blob, the Creature from the Black Lagoon, and the Wolfman. And so you have 2. So if you really wanted to do like some whimsical earrings, you could definitely do that. But these would make the most amazing bracelet bars. I mean, I was actually thinking of a bracelet with 1 whole strand where you just create links out of them, or you could string them, or take a single one. Like if you have a favorite film, I like Frankenstein because I watched the old black and white movie with my son when he was pretty small. He wanted to watch an old scary movie in black and white, so it just reminds me of a cozy evening that I had with him when he was smaller. But you could take 1, and what's so cool about this bead box is that for every movie flick there is a coordinating bead mixture here. So for the Dracula tile, there is a Dracula bead mix. So I'll just pop over here. I'm going to dump these in my hand. And what I love about this box too is not only are there some really amazingly cool shaped and faceted crystals, but I think every bead mix has at least 1 amazing boho bead. And I love this one with the cup chain around the middle, and it's red and black and silver and gold. It's so cool. And then this one also has these really cool faceted red crystals. Don't they kind of look like a drop of blood or even a fang? They're kind of shaped like a fang. So like, look how cool this is for a Dracula movie theme. Okay, let's put that one back in. I'm gonna try not to lose anything. And then up next is the Frankenstein one. So look at the cool bead. This looks like really teeny tiny ball chain that has made this almost look like a gear. And there are 2 of these in this mix, and I'm going to use one of those in my son's project. But also I am nuts about this oversized faceted bicone. That is so cool, and it's this cool black and green mix. Look at these beautiful little glass beads, the green cubes. There's some European large hole crystal beads in here, and these are awesome. Look at these elongated cylinder, like, oh my, they go from black to silver to gold, like ombre. And so those would make really cool earrings. Oh my, wouldn't that make a cool earring to have that as a drop and then a bicone at the end? So I may have to do an earring video as well, because there's just so much to work with here. And I'm going to say something, you'll see it. You're going to see it as I go through. But if horror flicks and, you know, the scary parts of the October holiday are not your thing, like it's not my thing, set that aside, forget the movie posters, and focus on how cool these bead mixes are. You'll see, I actually love the one for the blob. That's the one that comes up next. And I've never seen this movie because these movies are just not my thing, even back when I was younger. But the mix for the blob has this gorgeous, stunning boho bead in it. It does kind of look like a blob, but I just love it. And it's done with agate beads and glass seed beads, so there's no acrylic or anything on this one. I absolutely love it. There's even some faceted crystals. I love the color mix in this one. So, you know, if you set aside the horror flick and just look at the bead mixes, they're amazing. They're absolutely amazing, and there is something here for everybody. So this is I'm gonna mix this one and another one to do a necklace for myself. I've already designed it. I'm so excited about it. Look at these cool drops. These are absolutely amazing. Aren't they cool? They're the color, the ombre, the profile, the drill hole. They're a brio drop. I love these cylindrical, or not cylindrical, they're rectangular, like really elongated rectangular, and there's some gorgeous like swirled glass in here. I love this bead mix. So like I say, if I just saw this bead mix but I didn't know about the theme of the box, I would be delighted with this mix. And there's another one that I love as much. The Creature from the Black Lagoon is the next one, and I love the bead mix that comes with that one. Look at the boho bead that's in the Creature from the Black Lagoon. And before I dump this one out, I'm just going to show you these two together. Let me get this one out again. I'm going to make a mess. I'll just dump it again. But look at the dark teal with the purples and fuchsia pinks. It's very boho, very jewel tone, and like, I just love this for autumn colors that are vivid, and I love that. And look at like even the crystals in the blob mix with the Creature from the Black Lagoon boho bead. And look at these two beads together. They're amazing. So like I said, I'm going to use these two mixes. Let me clean up my mess here a little bit, get them all together because I don't want to lose any beads. But I'm going to use these two mixes and do a necklace for myself. Oh, look at that. A little octagon, little gold octagon bead. So the Creature from the Black Lagoon mix is got these gorgeous ceramic hearts. There are two of them in here. I'm going to use those in my necklace. And look at these awesome triangular electroplated beads. They're like a vivid purple magenta on one side and like a blue-green shimmer on the other side. And look at these little sparkling little spacer beads. They're so cool. I love those. And I cannot hold on to anything. I'm really excited about this box. Look at these faceted rice-shaped crystals. I mean, the bead mixes are stunning, and the boho beads, like you get a cool boho bead or two in every single mix in the Magical Mystery Bead Box, and I am just crazy about them. Like I said, and my son is crazy about the old movies and the classic novels. So this is like the best of both worlds. I'm so excited, and this one is amazing. This is the Wolfman. Let me show you his little tile. That's the Wolfman, and look, there's even some fuzzy boho beads in the Wolfman mix. Aren't they so cute? And like I said, if you set aside the creature feature flick and you were just looking at this bead mix, isn't this like a sweater weather type of a bead mix, or like coffee and cocoa and sweaters? Like, you know, you can take this theme to a whole different direction. My eye just goes for that. And I have to tell you, I mean, it's so well done. Look at this Briolette crystal drop. Isn't that stunning? It's in the palest gold. So it's just beautiful. And then the little Wolfman beads, these little fuzzy beads, because the Wolfman grew a lot of hair when he was connected to the moon. So there are even these little moon spacer beads in here. They are just amazing. And they have a really cool drill hole kind of like up the middle. And there's some of these half black, half gold faceted glass beads. And look at the copper and gunmetal boho beads in this mix. Like I say, I also see sweater weather. I love these amber cubes. Like this bead mix, there's even a little bit of mermaid glass in here that has the most gorgeous flash, which, you know, kind of reminds you of the light of the moon. Like it's so well thought out. It is so well thought out. The crystals are stunning. Look at the faceting on that crystal. I mean, it's just like I said, the bead mixes alone are absolutely amazing. I'm super excited to start working with this box. And I just think it's so clever and just so well done. I mean, so well done. And then look at these awesome little charms. These come, let's see, this one is the snack bar. It came like this with 2 little popcorn charms. Aren't they adorable? So if you wanted kitschy, like whimsical earrings, you could do that. It would be really cute to have this as the dangle on the extender chain of a movie poster bracelet. That would be stunning. And you know, I love to make bookmarkers. So even one end of a bookmarker being popcorn and the other end being a movie poster, you know, like, oh my gosh, this is so cute. And then this little package was called Intermission, and it had this silver stamped chain in it with 3 lobster claw clasps. I did not measure this, but there is enough for at least 4 necklaces here, depending on the length that you choose. And it's just absolutely perfect. So if you wanted to make charms out of the movie posters and make some necklaces, you could definitely do that. I'm going to do that for my son, but I'm going to not use the chain. I'll show you what I'm going to use. And then it's so sad to get to the last thing on such a cool box. This is called Director's Cut, and it is just a strand of metallic spacers in gold and silver. There's this wavy crystal rondelle spacer in here. There's a straight crystal rondelle spacer, gold and silver, and these little star spacer beads. So, I mean, who doesn't need a whole bunch of spacers? That is just awesome to have. And so for my son, like I said, he saw this and he said, Mommy, I want Frankenstein and I want the creature from the Black Lagoon. He looked, he scanned, and he said, I want those too. And he said, I want a bookmarker. So I'm going to do Frankenstein. Let's go ahead and cut this. I'm going to do Frankenstein, cut this one open. And he's going to get a necklace. I'm going to make a charm with the creature from the Black Lagoon, and I have some black leather here. And I just took black leather and I have glued on 2 little glue-on cord ends, and I'm going to create a little pendant for him with that. And then I took another little scrap of that leather, and I have just a rather masculine plain silver bookmarker. My son wears a silver chain that he was given in Italy by a dear friend, and he wears a silver bracelet, Italian silver, from a YouTube Lego friend here, and he wears a black watch that he was given in Italy. So he loves black and silver, and that's what he asked me for. So I've got a little scrap of leather to which I have glued some cord ends as well. And I'm going to create 2 little gifts for my son. So he's getting the creature from the Black Lagoon and he's getting Dracula. So I'll pull those out and let me clean up a little bit, and let's make some things for my son, Anthony. Okay, I have pulled this from the Wolfman. What did I pull this one from? I pulled this from one of the bead mixes, but then I'm using the Dracula bead mix for the Dracula charm, and the what is this one? The creature from the Black Lagoon for the pendant for the necklace. And I have a little tiny piece of scrap of 20 gauge silver wire here with an anti-tarnish coating, and I'm going to put a simple loop in one end. I'll do the bookmarker first, and then I'm going to feed on this gorgeous metallic boho bead and come to this side and put a simple loop in this side as well. And I'm going to close those loops really well and work hard in them, because I'm going to get out some jump rings for connecting everything. So just make sure that my loops look really good, which they do. And I have my little bookmark here and the little scrap of black leather that I have glued on these cord ends. And I'm going to pull from this oval jump ring mix, and I'm going to get these a few of these kind of antique silver ones out. And for my son's necklace, I'm going to pull from this little lobster claw mix, and I'm going to also get this antique silver. It's not quite as dark as gunmetal, sort of a light gunmetal, but it looks really pretty. And then from this large hole spacer mix, I just pulled out one of the antique silver spacers. I'm just going to create like a really cool necklace. I also have this silver Tibetan spacer mix here. And you know, for masculine jewelry, I have to contain myself because I'm very girly and I like the sparkle and the bling. And so I was like trying some of the different beads. And for the bookmarker, you can do a little bit more sparkle. But like for my son, he's not going to want any sparkle. So I literally, for his necklace, just decided on one little spacer. So I just have this little stack on my ball head pin here. And I'm going to come to the top, and I guess I'll do a little wire wrapped loop here since I'm going to connect everything with jump rings. So, and these ball head pins that I had are quite fine. So I don't feel secure about putting a simple loop when the wire is this fine. So I'm just going to wrap this loop. Okay, so there's one little drop, and this is what I did to make another charm for the bookmarker. Just one of those little gear looking, I mean, it's kind of a star spacer, but in this application it can look masculine and kind of like a little gear. And I'm going to also get a really small little wrapped loop in here just to make sure that it stays in place. It's a little tricky to wrap around these beads, but I just go slow and take my time and get a really nice, neat, simple loop or wrapped loop in there. Okay, so my two little charms for the bookmarker are done, and I'm going to come right here. Let me get my little jump ring tool on and open this oval jump ring and add it to the top of this bookmark. I never open my jump rings wide enough. It is such a bad habit. Close that a little bit, and then I'm going to feed on my big silver bead. I think that was from the Wolfman mix. So that's the start. And then I'm going to come right here, and I am going to use another jump ring here on this loop. And I'm going to put my piece of leather in the jump ring and close it. Make sure that's closed really well. And then I'm going to tie a knot in my leather and then add my charms to the bookmark. I have to remember that, like when I make men's jewelry, that generally men don't want the sparkle. They don't want the crystal rondelle spacers or faceted beads. So I really have to rein myself in when I'm making men's jewelry. And so what I'm going to do is I did one overhand knot, and then I'm going to bring both of them together and tie another knot in the leather like that, and they're offset. So I can like put the beads on the shorter one and put the movie poster charm on the longer one. Come back with 2 more oval jump rings and add my charms to the leather. And like I said, the shorter one will get the beads, and I'll put the movie poster on the longer one. Look at this cool bookmarker. My son is going to absolutely love that, hanging out of his book. It's so cool, and like I said, I have to rein myself in. I did put this crystal, clay and crystal bead in there, and I think he'll be okay with that, but I just think this is so cool. He's gonna love that. So that's done, and now I'm gonna do his necklace. So I have another little piece of leather here, and what I'm going to do is take this large hole spacer bead and kind of make that as a bail on the necklace, because to me it looks a little bit like nuts and bolts and hardware. It has a masculine vibe. And then I'm going to wire wrap a loop here. Let's see if I might have to get a bigger jump ring, but let me see if my oval jump ring fits through here. I'm looking at it and I'm not sure that it will, but I'll try this first. I might have to go either make a jump ring for this connection, but let me see if this goes in here. Oh, it does. Well, maybe it does. Yeah, it does. So I'm just kind of making this little bail right here. And so now I'm going to do a wire wrapped loop again on the creature from the Black Lagoon. And like I said, I just put one little silver disc there on a ball head pin, and I'm going to do another really small wrapped loop. I'm going to bend that, and just to make sure it's secure, come in here and get a little wrapped loop. These are really tricky to wrap around. They're kind of chunky, but just go slow and get it in there. So it looks like that, and we'll open this again. Look how cool that is as a pendant. It kind of has the shape of a dog tag, and since I didn't add a lot of sparkle to it, that is really cool. And then I'm just going to grab 2 more of those oval jump rings and pop on the lobster claw clasp, and maybe I'll do 1 oval jump ring, and just so that his necklace won't be too hard to clasp, do one of these round jump rings that came with this set. And the pendant is 2-sided, so I don't have to worry about right or left. Just going to pop these on. So I am totally in love with this month's Magical Mystery Bead Box. This is amazing. I cannot wait to give this necklace to my son. I think it's going to look great with his silver chain. The bead mixes are fantastic, and as I said, what I really love about this box is that you could do a whimsical jewelry, you could do like masculine gifts like I've done here, or there is some fabulous bead mixes to take this in a whole nother direction. And I am going to do a necklace for myself that's just a totally different vibe than this. So that is to me a really good, really well thought out bead box. The Jesse James Beads does the most amazing job with their box. It's so clever. It's so well done. The bead mixes are just fantastic. If you've never had a Jesse James bead mix, treat yourself to at least one, because you just get the creativity in those mixes, and they seem to go on forever. And on that note, I have a discount code for Jesse James Beads, which can be used for the Magical Mystery Bead Box, or it can be used with just shopping the website. So I love the Fab Finds area of the website, and you can just buy a one-off box if you don't want to subscribe to receive it monthly. You can just buy a one-off. It's more expensive that way, but you can do that. But my discount code works for that as well. And a lot of people don't realize the way it is structured. You can sign up to receive the Magical Mystery Bead Box for 3 consecutive months and get a little bit of a discount. 6 months, you get an even deeper discount. And if you sign up to receive it for a whole year, then it brings the box down to, don't quote me on this, but I think around $34 a month. I haven't looked at that in some time, but the longer you sign up to get it, the cheaper the box is. And again, use my discount code. It helps my channel, and it also gives you a discount. I thank you so much for watching. I'll be back with more videos. And you guys, I think there are still spots left in the Jesse James Beads Winter Workshop virtual event, and I have a class that I've designed, a necklace that I've designed, and so I've been invited back to be a teacher, and I'm really excited about that. And I also have a discount code for my viewers that Sarah James set up especially for you guys. And so it's a separate code, so I will put that in the description box too if you're interested in joining me and the other creators and fabulous teachers. Meredith Roddy is there, Jem Hawks is there, a couple of other people, I think Danielle Wicks. I'm excited about all the classes myself. So open my description box. You have to tap more under the video title and then find more another time to reveal all the information, and all the information and links will be there for you. I thank you all so much for watching, and I will see you in the next video. It is Turtle Day. I can't believe I'm seeing another turtle. Hey, where are you going? I'd really like to say hello to you. Okay, not feeling like chatting today.